never seen before in the ring. Clean punches, accurate punches, and having lots of fun. So a lot to look forward to tonight in that ring right here in Orlando, Florida. Caribe Royale. Well, stay tuned for everything that's going down in the ring.
Appreciate you, Sibley. Again, she's looking fly. She's ready to go, and so are we, as we have a fantastic prelim card for you folks. As we start with Quincy Williams taking on Jose Perdomo in a 6-round super welterweight bout, then followed by a super featherweight bout in the women's division. Elise Soto takes on Colleen Davis. Then we move to the super lightweight division as Jeremy Adorno takes on Jonathan Pacheco. And lastly, we have a 6-round light heavyweight bout between Ariel the Hulk Perez, who's a mainstay here at Prospects. He'll take on Mario Dubois in our prelim main event. All that and more coming up, folks. We'll see you in just a second.
Daniel Dubois had a big opportunity.
The chance to rock the world.
Alexander Usyk, he's a master.
He has the heart bigger than this room.
It was the feints that really seemed to unsettle Daniel Dubois.
Then,
Against all the odds, it happened.
Time froze. We're waiting. Wow, he's done it. He's done it.
I shouted out to Daniel, wow, you've done it, you've won.
I was surprised there was no count.
Моя думка, що рефері зробив все правильно.
the fans, they divided into two camps.
Was it low? Was it borderline?
I thought that punch was a punch from the gods.
He landed it right on the line.
I have the view that the shot was okay.
Muhammad Ali always talked about a quarter of an inch.
The guards are that big. It's very, very close.
I see that's a legal shot.
It was a real low blow.
You know it was a legal blow.
Frank.
What the referee did next was outrageous.
The seconds are ticking by. Suddenly, the minutes are ticking by.
He said, no, take some more time.
There were 3 minutes and 45 seconds of Alexander Usyk recovering.
Usyk came back, dropped him in the 8th round and stopped him in the 9th.
Up until now, there's still a question mark.
Usyk has shown that he is the man.
Usyk's beaten Joshua twice. He's beaten Fury twice. He's the closest that I've watched and thought, you've mastered boxing.
He's the defining champion of the era.
This version of Daniel Dubois,
Beating Jarrell Miller, beating Filip Hrgovic. Then to go to Wembley Stadium.
Daniel goes in as the underdog.
He was like a man possessed.
I knew he was going to win that fight.
Anthony Joshua eviscerated him.
Seeking the sword is how I fight.
This is the guy ready to take the throne.
2 semi-finals. You had Usyk fighting Fury, you had Dubois fighting AJ. This is like the final.
This rematch against Usyk is completely different.
Taking place
At Wembley Stadium, 90+ thousand people.
all the belts on the line.
in front of a global audience, live on the zone.
Now we have a chance to see who is the best.
It's going to be something special.
Do not blink.
Beautiful Orlando, Florida, the scene for Most Valuable Prospects number 12 right here at the Caribe Royale Resort. Now let's get into our first fight of the night, our tail of the tape for Williams versus Perdomo. As you can see, a little bit of height given up by Perdomo to the high-level prospect, the national amateur champion, 2-time junior Olympic champion, Quincy Williams. 4 wins, 4 knockouts for him. A lot of eyes on him. With that being said, let's go ahead and send it into the ring. And our ring announcer, Dasha Koretz.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We kick off these preliminary fights in the super welterweight division. Making his way to the red corner from Montevideo, Uruguay, Jose Perdomo.
There he is, Jose Perdomo, I saw him a lot this week, not just at our weigh-ins, but in the lobby walking around, very calm, very confident, Dan. And I think a guy that's looking to obviously play spoiler, but not necessarily taken in by this moment. He looks ready to go. And again, almost no pressure on him here.
52 rounds for Perdomo to 8 for Quincy Williams. So the advantage and experience goes to Perdomo.
Making his way to the blue corner from Washington, D.C., Quincy Williams.
There he is, Quincy Williams. Listen, Dan, if I had a Rolodex in about an hour, I could list off all the amateur accomplishments of this young man. He's 4-0 with 4 knockouts, and a lot of eyes on him as a potential next big prospect. Wouldn't you know it, here at Most Valuable Prospects in the world of boxing.
That's what we do here. I mean, we put you sink or swim, and it's been a lot of swimming for Quincy Williams early on in his career. 4-0, 4 knockouts, 4 fights in 8 rounds, Nito. It's like you, man.
You know, what's the question with these guys is, are they able to perform? Because sometimes early on, like I said, you know, the accolades and all of that stuff allows them to not perform because of the pressure.
This opening bout will consist of 6 rounds in the super welterweight division, brought to you by Event Ticket Center. Don't just watch it, experience it live with Event Ticket Center. Tickets to the best seats in the house and to all of your favorite events. Fansly, the best 18 and over content creator site. Head on over to fansly.com/MVP to see exclusive content from our events and more of our beautiful ring card models, as well as Celsius Live Fit Essential Energy. Our judges for this bout are William Glover, Rodolfo Aguilar, and Harold Lewis Hunt Jr. Our referee for this bout is Christopher Young. Future champions are created from the most valuable prospects. With that being said, let's meet our fighters. Fighting to my left in the red corner, wearing baby blue and silver, with an official weight of 150.2 pounds and a record of 6 victories, 6 defeats, and 3 of those victories by knockout. From Montevideo, Uruguay, Jose Perdomo. And his opponent, fighting to my right, from Washington, D.C., wearing black, with an official weight of 151 pounds and an undefeated record of 4 victories. Those 4 victories were by knockout. Quincy Williams.
Red corner, blue corner. All right, champ. Everything up here I'm consider legal right here. Everything will be fine, okay? Tell me your routine, structure, and dressing room. Expect tough, clean fight. Give my commands all the time. Protect yourself all the time. Touch them up.
Moments away from our first fight of the evening, super welterweight matchup between Jose Perdomo and Quincy Williams. Like you said, Dan, a lot of Quincy's fights don't go very long, so maybe a do-not-blink situation here.
We'll see. I mean, Perdomo's got a lot of experience. A lot more experience than Williams.
Round 1.
Williams is the superior skills, at least on paper.
You know, Williams, he throws that jab and goes underneath. He'll land those body shots because Perdomo has this high guard, you know, so he's scared of that power. He's very aware of that power, but because of that, he opens himself up for body shots.
And just as you say that, Flash, you see Williams go directly to the body, and there's another jab right there.
You know, he definitely has a lot of IQ because he's going down now, which drops the guard of Perdomo, and then that opens up for the higher or the lower shots.
Showing some great IQ already, Dan. Some great eyes on the defensive side, not getting in touch with anything. and then finding his way in behind a jab, getting his head off center there as well.
He's mixing it up. He's showing you a little bit of everything. Not showing you too much early on. He's just going with the jab so far, but he's varying it. Like you said, going upstairs, going downstairs. And if you look at the hands of Perdomo, he doesn't know exactly where to put him anymore because he started off in that high guard, and now he's been lowering them.
You know, Nito, for a prospect, how important is it to just feel your way into a fight, right? Not show everything right off the bat, and you're talking about it all the time on this series, to set things up.
You know, one thing that William is doing is, you know, he knows when to hit. He knows that's why he's not overgoing with aggressiveness, you know. He's throwing the jabs really well. One thing that impresses me is he knows when to hit, but he knows when not to get hit.
Nice lead
step
right
out.
hand right there. There's the timing breaker, as I like to call it. You've seen jab, right hand. You've seen double jab, and then Williams goes with the straight backhand.
The first power punch from him came about a minute and a half into the round, so very poised, not coming out throwing anything crazy early on for Williams.
You know, we talked about the lack of rounds for Quincy Williams. Is this one of those fights, you see a 6-round bout here, is this one of those fights where potentially you get him in there and get him some more rounds and have him start a little bit more patient?
Well, it only takes one shot, especially for Williams, who has power, and it all comes down to timing, and that's what he's doing right now. He's looking at timing, he's jabbing, and he's setting up his big shots.
Flash, you ever say that I'm going into this ring and I want rounds today?
Nope. You know, we would like to, but, you know, if we can make it easier as early as possible, 100%.
It is a question we ask a lot, though, on the prospect level, because sometimes, you know, let's be honest, sometimes the A side is more overmatched than the B side. Not usually on our cards, but it happens at the prospect shows. So I always wonder if there actually does exist. You go into a fight thinking, all right, I want to go 4 or 5 rounds.
Solid right hand there for Quincy Williams.
Easy no there. All right,
yeah.
Case closed. That's a myth. It's one of the many boxing myths.
Yes, we're busting it.
Already very comfortable in this first round, and it's complete domination in the first for Washington, D.C.'s own Quincy Williams. And we talk about it, you know, obviously potential for getting rounds, getting some experience. But I do think as we see this fight go on, we're going to see Quincy Williams turn up here.
Keep your stick on it.
It's the first fight. First, you know, the crowd is filling in. It's a little quiet in here, so that has to play into it as well. But that's the right way to go. You don't come out there throwing wild. Leave yourself open for something.
So keep doing the same thing. You listen to everything he's telling you, you're hearing. You're doing great. Keep doing the same thing. Look, probably the 3rd round. We're going to stop him on the 3rd round.
Oh, 3rd round, he says.
So he's Zahir Rahim's brother, and I've known him since forever, you know, and so he trains Scooter, Steve Fulton.
Love Steve Fulton.
Yeah, so he's his trainer and stuff like that. Now they work together, you know. Beautiful. So he knows exactly what, you know, he knows what to say out there in there.
They're calling for a 3rd round stoppage there, Dan.
Interesting. Corner knows best.
Goodness, I don't like that reaction to a jab for Perdomo.
He's going to have to start throwing Perdomo. He's kind of, in between right now. He's shown a good high guard, but he hasn't fired off much that last round in particular.
You know, he's telling them to do the same thing. But I think the more the round goes, the minutes, the seconds, you know, Williams is going to feel so much more comfortable, and he's going to throw those big shots. And just trying to, he almost got caught in there. But again, he knows when to hit and not to get hit.
Back to the jab to the body goes Williams. Taking up a lot of space in that ring, both forward and back, moving his feet. Like you said, Flash, keeping himself composed even when the fire comes back his way. Again to the body.
Double jab, too. What he's doing, really nice thing, he's not only is he moving, Flash, but he's punching while moving.
Right.
Not just dancing in there, which we've seen a lot recently in boxing, but he's throwing punches.
I mean, to me, Flash, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like he does want to draw out some attacks here from Perdomo to counter over the top or something.
And I think that's what he's trying to do is pull him in so that when he reaches in, he opens up, and that's where it makes fight a lot easier that way when somebody reaches in, because you can counter him. And that's something Williams can do because he has the speed and talent for it.
And again, he goes to the body with that lead hand. Now down to the body with the right hand as well. Starting to mix it up in this 2nd round. Looks for an overhand there. Answers the phone with his backhand, avoids that lead hook, and then lands one to the body of his own. Quincy Williams showing off the high-level amateur experience. Nice jab there as well. Backs up Perdomo. And a right hand. Now he has him on the ropes, and this is where you look like he may tee off a bit. Perdomo comes out firing, trying to get out of the corner himself there.
That was a better move to switch that position. One thing that I didn't see, that I saw in the first minute of the previous rounds, was Williams was doing a lot of feints, and he's not doing it this time. You know, I think that in order for him to set up those big shots, he needs to throw those jabs, but mainly throw some feints in between there as well.
And also, he's dealing with a fighter in front of him in Perdomo who is strictly using that high guard, and he's not going away from it. He has attacked the body, but
oh, there it is, punching in between.
That's what he needs to have right there, Dan.
Yeah, I would thought maybe a little more body work, Flash. You know, with that high guard. A little bit of head hunting from Williams.
I agree. Those body shots are going to be tremendous advantage for him. Just like that. Oh, good combination.
Maybe third round, like his corner said, where the body shots will start raining down.
Finished off the round very strong there and has a dance on his way back. You know something about that, Flash.
Oh, yeah, man. We love to dance, man.
Stop dancing.
You saw a quick switch there at the end of the round. We'll hear into the corner now.
The bucket. Look, we're going to get him, right? What round we in? A second?
No.
Let it go a little bit. We're going to get him. You hear me? Don't load up so fast. We're going to get you. You're doing good, though.
You don't need no wild hooks. It's going to come.
Look,
I like what I saw that last time. You know, he stepped on the gas.
Why? No.
But didn't, not like right away. You know what I mean?
I also like what his corner's saying about, hey, listen, we don't have to go wide with our hooks and get crazy here, because that's where 50-50s happen, right, Flash? That's where the potential danger in a shot coming back, when you really feeling yourself and you want to throw those hands out and maybe the defensive responsibility goes away. Just keep doing what you're doing, but let's get a little bit more intense. Let's have a little more intent with what we're doing.
I agree with that, Wade. One thing I like in that round was when he was throwing those shots, his guard was high. You know, so even though he got hit with punches, it landed on his arm.
So let's see if we can call him Mystic Quincy, because the corner called for a third round stoppage. We are now in the third round, and he finished off that second round in style. A nice right hand that he landed at the end of the round and backed up, and he is picking up right where he left off. Some big shots here.
This is exactly what it is. He's very comfortable now. He's throwing to the top. He's throwing to the bottom. He's mixing it all up, and that high guard's not working as much anymore.
Williams hasn't seen the third round since his debut. It came all the way in January of 2024, so it's 4 consecutive fights where he had not seen the third round.
Right back on the lead hand is Williams, and a right hand right there on the counter.
Best punch of the fight.
And then he goes underneath double body shots, which is great. Again, very impressive to go up and down with power and just breaking down those high guards that Perdomo has.
When he does so, it does look like Perdomo freezes a bit, and he's able to catch him with 2, 3, 4 combinations, even if that first or second doesn't land. He's really starting to find a home for his right hand in this round, gentlemen.
And those body shots, jab, we'll set up the straight, we'll set up the hook, we'll set up the body shots, man. You know, he just had to invest a little bit more of it.
Perdomo landed something there of note.
Both guys looking to their left hooks there. And again, Williams walking him into the corner. It's a bad position for Perdomo.
With 90 seconds in their corner predicting a third round stoppage.
Nice right hand to the body. And a counter right hand left hook from Williams, and he's starting to tee off.
Every time Perdomo attempts to throw punches, there hasn't been much in this fight. He's been countered.
You know, one thing I want to see from Williams is throwing that overhand, but coming in uppercut right down the middle instead of a hook. You know, because the high guard is going to block that, but the uppercut, it's right in between.
And a nice right hand there from Perdomo as he covers up and looks to get something back here. Last minute in our third round. Perdomo might have gotten some respect there after not really landing anything of significance in the entirety of the fight so far. But Williams right back on that jab, just stifling a lot of offense with that lead hand, Onito. How important is that for a young guy to know that lead hand, even when you get in trouble or even when your rhythm's off, you can go right back to it?
100%. That's the most important weapon that a boxer has is his jab, the lead hand. But I think in this fight, he can set all that up with that jab. But the uppercut, I believe, is going to be the key to taking Perdomo and hitting them with that right shot.
Just because that comes right up Main Street, right? It goes right down the middle. Obviously, everybody expects the straight right hand. There's another nice straight right hand. But that uppercut off that would probably be the opening shot with a high guard fighter like Perdomo, yeah?
Right. And body shot can work the same way, too, with it.
Well, we're through 3 rounds, Dan Canobio, and we did not get the stoppage. So if that was on your bingo card or potentially at your,
I didn't place any bets on that.
I was going to say,
did not place any bets on that.
Let's take a look at some of these replays. As we saw again, a nice right hand. We saw attacks in spots here for Quincy Williams, and Perdomo, fair play to him, came back with some fire of his own in that round.
Yeah, better round for Perdomo. Still didn't throw enough. I think he's thinking every time I'm going to throw, I'm going to get countered, because Williams has been very sharp as a counter puncher, really sharp with the jab too. So Perdomo, it's like, what's coming at me right now? Is it the jab? Is it the lead foot of Williams, or is he going to, hook off the back foot and counter me? So,
well, I mean, guys like Perdomo, they're very, very experienced, and they don't want to get stopped because they want to keep fighting. They may lose the fight, but they don't want to get stopped because they want to keep fighting. Because if they do get stopped, they stop for a couple weeks, a couple months,
Round 4 here in our opening bout. Quincy Williams seemingly winning every single round going away so far.
Yeah, I have him up 3-0 on my unofficial scorecard. Pretty easy scorecard so far.
The official Dano scorecard.
That's right. 3 rounds to none for Quincy Williams.
One thing that we see right now is it's the same pattern. Williams throwing a jab, Perdomo trying to counter with the hook. And it's just the same process from the very beginning. So there has to be some type of difference coming from Williams to make a different type of fight.
Yeah, he's going to have to mix it up a little bit more. Like we've seen the jab, we've seen the counter shots. Perdomo's still there. I mean, he's winning the fight, it's going away, but you would like to see a little more offensive variation from Williams.
That's right.
And you heard the corner in between rounds. Nice right hand there from Williams. Every time we've heard the corner speak to Quincy Williams, it's continue doing what we're doing. Continue doing the same thing. No need to. It is successful, but at this point in the fight where you're up so big, do you want to start trying some other stuff to obviously get that stoppage?
I mean, this is early on, and I believe that, if you can gauge that the guy is not dangerous enough, try something different. This is where you get better. That's why I always encourage fighters to experiment in there, as long as it's safe enough. I mean, of course, everything has to be done in training, but if you have the leverage to do so in a fight, do it.
And that's an interesting question. I've never really asked boxers, but how much better do you get in fights specifically, especially maybe early on with a prospect like this, Nonisa? How much better did you get in the actual fight? Not camp, but in an actual fight.
Everything comes to confidence. In the beginning, you might doubt.
There's
good,
a big right
straight.
hand. Oh, and down goes Perdomo after a nasty combination from Quincy Williams.
I guess they were right when they said keep doing what you're doing.
That's it.
They stopped it.
That is it. And what a performance in our first fight of the night from Quincy Williams. Is he found an opening, Dan Canobio, and he let it rip.
Really impressive. Started it off a little slow, but poised. And was putting together his jab. It looked beautiful. Power shots as the second round went on. Going to the body, upstairs, countering. And then he gets the stoppage in round 4 to move on to 5-0. 5 knockouts. Quincy Williams, I want to see this kid fight again.
Very impressive, very, very calm in there. And a lot of times, especially in your 4 or 5 fights, you're all over the place, and here we go. So he goes with the combination, he goes underneath, and he goes over. And that right hand right there really took him out.
That was a really nice counter.
And then
really nice combination.
Beautiful shot there. And again, Perdomo had some moments, but ultimately, this was it was one-way traffic. Let's just be honest. It was one-way traffic from Quincy Williams. But, again, experience. A couple more rounds than he's used to going, and eventually finds a stoppage.
Got 12 rounds now in his career. He's working his way up.
He's working his way up.
And for such an
that
early...
beautiful straight.
Yeah, it was a great right hand right there. And another one.
That was it.
And so for such an early, pro career so far, Dan, there is no rush, obviously. But what would you like to see out of a guy like Quincy Williams next?
I'd say put him in there with someone with just a little bit more experience that we saw from Perdomo. Maybe someone who's never been stopped before, and see if we can get a stoppage there. But, first 10 fights, this is what I want to see. I want to see knockouts. I want to see improvements. And Quincy Williams, this kid's good.
And his amateur career, he lit it up, right? 2-time junior national champion, 2-time Golden Gloves national champion. I mean, everywhere in the amateur circuit he went, he won. So he is used to putting on spectacular performances. But now you're in the pro game, Nonito, and experience is a major key, but it's also getting the right experience. It's not just going the 6 rounds, but like we talked about in the fight, doing the things you need to do to get better.
For him, the experience in itself.
But still to come, folks, we have a star-studded main event as Daniel Perro takes on Cesar Navarro. And this one's free for everybody. On DAZN.com, on the DAZN app, no subscription required. We want to see you guys over on DAZN in this heavyweight bout for the WBA Continental USA title. And it looks like as our fighters are getting their gloves off, we're almost ready to get our decision. We're still waiting on Perdomo to... There's one of those gloves off. But, again, what a night. What a great way to start this night. And I think for Quincy Williams, one that he will absolutely remember. But it looks like now we are ready for our official decision. Let's send it in to Dasha Correct.
At the 2-minute and 11-second mark in the 4th round, your winner by knockout, Quincy Williams.
Your winner, moving to 5-0 with 5 KOs, is Quincy Williams. And it looks like he is going to be standing by right now with... Oh, actually, we're going to do highlights before we go to Sibley. Sibley is waiting, standing by. But check out these shots from Quincy Williams. Aggressive.
That was the
and powerful
final combination.
On the front foot. Everything you like to see out of a young prospect in a sport where, let's be honest, over the last couple weeks, we've seen some not so aggressive young prospect fighters.
So we're going to focus on the positives tonight.
We're going to focus on those
thrown,
positives.
Exciting fights, free, on DAZN. Quincy Williams getting a beautiful start to the night.
Well, Sibley Scholes is standing by with your winner. Let's send it into the ring.
Thank you, guys. We are here. Quincy Williams, not only handling business in the ring, but handling business on the fashion front. The tattoos, y'all ain't seen it, but Jason is on the back of his right quad. It's not the quad, it's the ankle, no, calf.
Yeah.
You're shaking too, huh? How was this tonight for you? What does this feel like for you? And let's talk about the fashion we get into, because a boxer is not just a boxer in this ring, but it's what they bring to it.
Yeah. Oh, no, I felt great coming in here. I had a great camp, and, it's just great being back in the ring since November 30th. And for my outfit, thank you to Franchon Cruz Design. She made my outfit, I gave her the color. She just put everything together.
I hear some clapping going on. You be louder, Orlando. It's okay. You can let it happen. When you have a moment like this, you said your camp is so solid and so great. We got part of your camp back here. You're mic'd up, but I'm going to give you the mic too. What does this moment mean to the both of you and everyone that's been there in your corner?
For me, this is a new team for me, so he came in, he played a big role. He helped me with eating, not just training. He helped me with eating. He helped me with, telling me where to sleep, things like that. So, it's just been great being a part of this new team.
When you have a fighter like this that you get to work with, it sounds like he's literally listening to everything and taking it in, which is a sign of someone like a Steph Curry. You know what I mean? Go to somewhere else, a champion. You listen and you learn, which is amazing and beautiful. How nice is that to have a fighter like that in your corner?
Well, it's kind of amazing because a lot of fighters don't listen. So to get a fighter to listen, he didn't just listen to me. He listened to Hamza Muhammad, Daoud Bey. We all played a major part in it. I didn't do it by myself. We all did it together. We had an amazing team, amazing camp. And he didn't only listen to me. He listened to all three of us. When Hamza Muhammad gave an instruction to him, he listened. When Daoud Bey gave an instruction to him, he listened. When I gave him instruction, he listened. So we started it in the gym because, at first we had a little rough time with him because it was new. But then eventually, he's still young. He's still a kid. But he listened and he matured very fast, and he practiced it in the gym. We made sure he practiced and listened in the gym, and we executed it in the ring today.
Hearing your corner say that right now, you got a big smile on your face. I know we're here. Give it up, Orlando, one more time. This is our first fight of the night. You're handling business. Is there anything you want to say to your fans and now the new fans who have watched you and seen what you can do in the ring?
I just want to say thank you and keep supporting, and I'm going to keep putting on spectacular performances for y'all.
You heard him. Spectacular performances happening right here, Orlando.
Last thing. First of all, I'm sorry. I would like to thank God and everything for this performance, and that's what I want to say. I appreciate you guys, and thank you for letting us get out this ring safely, and thank you for the opponent getting out safely.
Through God, good things happen. Everything happens. We're going to take it back to Wade right now.
What a performance in our first fight of the night. Quincy Williams gets the win by knockout. We have so much more coming up, guys. And specifically coming up next, Elise Soto versus Colleen Davis. We'll be right back with that one.
Hey, listen up. Let's have it. You know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 185 fights on the zone every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Churning through combinations, comebacks, and non-stop knockouts. With big fights every week, you're the best in the world. So go on, get that belt. Champ the Zone. Undisputed.
Good shot. A terrific performance from Peter McGrail.
Lovely movement from Masudi.
Sustained a shot from Yabai.
Eye-catching, classy, star quality.
And there he is, El Gallo de Dorado. Jake Paul is making his return June 28th, and he's taking on the son of a legend. It is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. They're doing that in my backyard, Orange County, California, Anaheim, California, and it's live on DAZN. And gentlemen, I have to know your thoughts on this fight. This is a major one for Jake's career, probably his toughest test. And Dan, I'll start with you.
It's definitely his most experienced opponent. 60 fights for Chavez, former world titleist, coming up to cruiserweight. I like this fight. It's a fight I've been calling for since 2021 because I believe Chavez has the name. I believe he has the experience. And I talked to Oscar De La Hoya last week in New York City, who will be a co-promoter on this event. He said, don't let it fool you. You know, Chavez may train in the living room sometimes, may do some unconventional training, but this guy's coming ready to fight. He understands the moment and what he could do with a win over Jake Paul. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. June 28th, Chavez and Jake Paul. Wow.
It's a big one. And Nonito, I want to know, you've conquered the highest of highs in this sport. Jake has talked about becoming a world champion. By the way, Zordo Ramirez is on that card as well. I don't think that's an accident. What do you think about that card, that fight?
I think this is a big step up for Jake. This is what he needs because he has a guy who can fight, you know, who's been in the game all his life. And this is one of those things that his opponent Chavez is wanting to prove to the world, to his father, that, you know, beating Jake Paul and seeing his level of view to the world again. Yeah. You know, this is what he wants to do. This is where I believe he'll be at his best because he's fighting Jake Paul.
I think Chavez has an ultimate opportunity here to right a lot of wrongs that has gone on in his career.
It'd be kind of fitting. It's kind of crazy how he has the opportunity to do what a lot of people have wanted to do and stop Jake.
Not only that, for himself, for his own career, he's had an up and down career, and you know he hasn't fully reached his potential earlier on. But he has an opportunity to beat Jake Paul, which a lot of people, let's be honest, want to see Jake Paul lose in boxing. But he can also right a lot of wrongs in his career. You talked about his dad. That's a big aspect of this is, you know, fighting for the approval of Chavez Sr., who's arguably the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. So there are a ton of storylines here for Chavez. If he comes in and he trains hard, I don't know if he'll come out with the win, but I think he's going to give very, very tough rounds to Jake.
I believe that this is one of those crossroads for Jake to get to the next level, and it takes a Chavez Jr. to be that guy, because Chavez, he's not one of those guys that's just going to sit down. You know, he's one of those tough Mexicans that will stand up and will get hit and will take it. And, you know, he has the pride of the Mexican, and that's what makes it tough because he has a name.
Another thing, too, you brought up Zurdo Ramirez. He is fighting Dorticos on the co-main event. Zurdo is a WBA light heavyweight champion, or cruiserweight champion, excuse me. Talked to Oscar De La Hoya last week. He said it's not an accident, like you said, Wade. It's not an accident that he's on that card. There are a lot of rumors out there that if Jake should want to get that title shot, there is a road, there is a path for Jake Paul to fight for a legitimate cruiserweight world title against Zurdo Ramirez, but he has to get through Chavez first.
That road starts June 28th, but we're not finished here yet. In fact, we're just getting started. So let's take a look at the tail of the tape for our next fight on the night. Elise Soto, 7-0 with 7 knockouts, but she'll have a 4.5-inch reach disadvantage to her opponent, Colleen Davis, 4-2-1 with 1 knockout. But it's time to get this one started. So let's send it to the ring with Dasha Correct.
Making her way to the red corner from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Colleen Davis.
Here comes Colleen Davis making her way into the ring. 4-2-1. Fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She comes in as the underdog in this one. She's a tough opponent in Soto, who is undefeated. 6 rounds.
That is right, 6 rounds. And she's got a tough one in front of her. Let's go back to Dasha.
Making her way to the blue corner from Carolina, Puerto Rico, Elise Soto.
Elise Soto fighting out of Carolina, Puerto Rico. If that sounds familiar to you, that is the hometown of Amanda Serrano. Put out a nice post earlier today on social media.
Listen, Amanda has her ear to the ground with all of the Puerto Rican women's fighters, obviously the men's fighters as well, but there's something special when you get the cosign from the real deal as a Puerto Rican fighter. And she said, listen, Elise is next up. She's 7-0 with 7 knockouts. And we're going to see what she has in store.
This next bout will consist of 6 rounds in the super featherweight division. Brought to you by Event Ticket Center. Don't just watch it, experience it live with Event Ticket Center. Tickets to the best seats in the house and to all of your favorite events. Fansly, the best 18 and over content creator site. Head on over to fansly.com/MVP to see exclusive content from our events and our more of our beautiful ring card models, as well as Celsius, Live Fit, Essential Energy. Our judges for this bout are Eric Larson, Alexander Levin, and William Glover. Our referee is Sam Burgos. Future champions are created from the most valuable prospects. Let's meet our fighters. Introducing first to my left in the red corner, wearing dark and light blue, with an official weigh-in of 127.6 pounds and an official record of 4 victories, 2 defeats, and 1 draw. One of those victories by knockout. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Colleen Davis. And her opponent fighting to my right in the blue corner, wearing light blue, red, and silver, with an official weight of 128.4 pounds and an undefeated record of 7 victories. Those 7 victories by knockout. From Carolina, Puerto Rico, Elise Soto.
Chief second, come on in. Chief second, come on in. Chief second, come on in. All right, ladies, get the instructions on the back. Obey my command. Protect yourself at all times. Right here is going to be good. Right here is good. Touch him if you like. Come out of the bell. Is that high? I said it's good over here. Dutch. Dutch. Dutch.
6 rounds in our second bout of the evening. Elise Soto versus Pittsburgh, PA's own Colleen Davis.
At the bell, ladies. Time.
And here we go, round 1.
The exact message from Serrano said no one is tougher than Elise. I sparred hundreds of rounds with her. I know firsthand after tonight she's going to be making her Puerto Rico debut.
She's throwing those bombs like no other, man. I mean, 7-0 with 7 knockout. You don't see that a lot for women's boxing. You know, they usually are very technical and because of the short minutes in fights before, you know, you don't see those knockouts. But to be 7-0 with 7 knockouts, it shows how much power she has.
Well, I think Colleen Davis knows how much power she has because she's throwing him back, and she's got those feet working as well, Dano.
Got a little bit of redness on the face of Soto. But, yeah, 7 fights, 7 knockouts, over 100 rounds sparring with Amanda Serrano. That's what you're going to see here with Soto. But Davis has the height advantage, and she's throwing punches.
Sticking the jab out. Yeah, she's going quickly.
2 minute rounds, you really have to come out with a pace.
Oh, headbutt there. Accidental from both ladies. Right on the right eye of Elise Soto. But look at this. Colleen Davis is throwing some combinations, some flurries early on.
I like those jabs from Soto to set up the overhand. There's a little bit more of adjustment. I think she'll land that overhand using the jab.
Oh, there's a cut, too, over the left eye of Colleen Davis. I assume it was from that headbutt.
Yeah, it was from that headbutt.
Blood from the eye, some redness on Soto. A minute and a half.
A
minute and a half into this fight. I love it.
See, this is why women's boxing is so it's incredible. You know, because they fight
right
again
hand.
Overhand.
Oh, and a counter right hand from Colleen Davis.
You know, a big storyline in women's boxing was the 2 minutes versus 3 minutes. You know, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano actually argued about it on the stage. Because when you have 2-minute fights, you have to come out with a pace. And
oh my goodness,
that's the argument for 2 minutes.
I was going to say, speaking of pace,
right?
Elise Soto hasn't taken a backward step this entire round.
That's the argument you can make for 2-minute rounds if you get rounds like that. Where it's frantic.
All right, well, let's take a listen really quick as you can see that cut over the left eye of Colleen Davis. Let's take a listen to her corner.
Give me a towel. Give me a towel. You're boxing very good, very smart. You hear me? What we need you to do, that's a big cut. Watch it out.
Nonito, what was just poured in her eye there?
I have no idea. I've never seen that. You know,
Elmer's glue. That's a massive cut. That's a lot bigger cut than I thought it was in the round. We're going to see it right here. Great work from our truck. The accidental clash of heads. That is a big cut. That is a big cut. But not only that, I thought, you know, Davies, despite the cut,
she's fighting.
Boxed well. That's a tough round to score. I think I would probably give it to Soto because I think she landed cleaner, harder shots. That's a very close 10-9 round.
The bleeding of that thing. I think a great job out of the corner there to calm a fighter down too. You never know until you sustain a big one like that. We don't know if Colleen has, but in those moments, how you'll react, right? When you are bleeding and you got a massive cut over your eye, Dr. Nonito, how important is it for your corner to be able to settle you down and get you back into this thing?
Sometimes, like myself, I think it's sweat, you know, and then I'm seeing red stuff. So, you know, they're checking the cut right now.
It's huge. I mean, she does have chaos on her trunks. And the top.
Yeah, she switched on. She's ready to go.
Well, I don't think blood's going to really bother Colleen Davis. She's from Pittsburgh. It's a tough city.
Hey, she's throwing those shots, man. Davis is a live fighter. She's really game for this fight.
You got fight of the night bonus? Are we still giving that out?
We are.
We coming out of my pocket tonight because I might have to.
Yeah, you might have to get the extra one, the double fight bonus there from Dan.
I love this.
This is incredible. Beautiful fight.
What you're seeing too is Colleen Davis, with her height advantage, is able to get to Soto a lot easier. Oh, there was a nasty left hook from Soto, though. I was going to say, a matter of time, Nonito, before Soto starts to go upstairs with some of these shots and potentially land some damage.
Oh, those beautiful body shot from Soto as well.
Davis is throwing a little bit of arm punches, Nonito, where Soto is sitting down on those shots. And it's not shocking to me. She has 7 knockouts in her 7 fights.
And she
big left hook there from Soto.
Big left hook.
That one hurt.
But Davis is working still. You know, she's not daunted by it. She's doing what she's trying to do. You know, box and not get hit.
Well, Davis is throwing more punches, but it's Soto that's landing the harder shots. She's sitting
another right hand, and there goes the mouthpieces out. Referee hasn't stopped the fight to reset, so Elise Soto's just going to keep going. Shoves off Colleen Davis and continues to throw nasty shots. There's another left hand.
This is what it's all about.
She's stalking her prey. I don't know if our referee has seen the mouthpiece out yet.
Well, they can't stop it until there's a pause in there. As you can see, he just picked it up. You know, it has to be a point because some guys have intentionally spit their mouthpiece out.
And that's a great
tactic, right?
A great call there from the ref to stop it when he did, because that was flurries, punches in bunches.
I don't think she spit it out, but that is a tactic fighters will use to save some time.
I've seen it.
Have you ever done it?
Never done it.
I don't know, man. I'll have to go back and check the tape.
19 seconds here in this second round. It looks like at least Soto is starting to press on the gas and have a lot more success in this round, gentlemen. Oh!
Guys, the live chat right now on YouTube is going crazy. This is because we're watching great action.
This is incredible. Again,
blood. A short right hand there from Soto, but again,
that's a lot of blood.
Davis answering with the jab, sitting down on some hooks, and that is again, nasty cut.
I'm not going to say that's Tim Tszyu level of blood.
No.
You saw in the Fundora fight. It's approaching that.
Staying still too long, okay? To get this gone, to be able to get
show
out
that
of
cut.
there,
They're going to get close up on that
can't
again.
stand still with her. Do you hear me?
Yeah, as I look at some scar tissue, I can see a nice cut over your right eye, Nandito.
I've had a lot of cuts, you know.
Let me ask you about cuts. What goes through your mind? The first cut you suffered, it's like probably the first time you face some adversity. What goes through your mind when you can't see it, but you feel it?
You don't really feel it. It feels like it's sweat. You know, I've never really worried too much about the cuts. I've always felt like it was sweat.
Wow.
You also got to realize you're asking Nonito Donaire.
Yeah, I would probably just say I'm done. That's it. I'm over.
The man himself,
I'm out.
Soto's going in there like no tomorrow.
And she is, again, the shorter fighter. You do run into this sometimes. A height difference and a very aggressive fighter. That's also the shorter fighters. Hold on 1 second, gentlemen. We're getting a little bit of a warning there. It looked like potentially.
Whoa, stopping it.
We have a. Okay, well, it looks like it's it. We're going to go ahead and.
It's an accident. It happened. It's a no contest.
No contest.
Okay, so we're going to have a no contest here because of the clash of heads.
Okay, so it's going to be a no contest.
That's
obviously
disappointment.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be disappointing on everybody's behalf because I don't think that Colleen Davis or her corner wanted that. Obviously,
oh my God, that cut is.
At least Soto and her corner didn't want that. But when you look at that cut, it's pretty gruesome, guys.
You can see in her face. She was very, very disappointed.
And it wasn't intentional, right? It's not intentional. I didn't see any intentionality in the way she was, level changing. It just happens sometimes.
I mean, they were throwing
hammers,
a lot of punches, and things are going to happen. Jump in the pool, you're going to get wet. That's the big cut. That's the right decision. It will be a no contest for Soto. It's just unfortunate because that fight was heating up, and I think it would have been really outstanding.
And it happened very early, too. It wasn't like, again, this is something that just happened, so the risk of it continuing to open up is there, especially over the next few rounds. So
very impressive.
Completely understand.
Mike Ross in the chat says that's an old cut from her last fight. It reopened.
Okay.
Confirm or deny that from Mike Ross.
Shout out Mike Ross there, helping us out in the chat. But yeah, again, unfortunate circumstance. But for what we saw, gentlemen, how about that? We want to talk about a barn burner. We got what we asked for and some out of this fight.
Maybe run it back in a few months once the cut heals again. But yeah, Soto is just, she's had harder shots. I mean, it was beautiful to see Davis come in there and go for the win and throw punches. But Soto was sitting down on her shots. I think she eventually would have gotten to Davis because Davis was so willing to throw.
I'm getting word that we will get an accidental headbutt. No contest. Fight was tied on the scorecards.
Tied on my scorecard, too.
So,
one apiece.
That'll be our official decision when we get that. Again, no one likes this. You can obviously see the disappointment on both fighters' faces because we just talked about it. It was an even fight.
The beautiful thing is both fighters came in to fight.
Do we run it back, Dan? Do we say, you know what? Listen, we have prospects cards all the time here at the Carib, and we got one coming up that we'll announce in just a little bit. But I say, why not put them back on a card at some point very soon, and let's see these two go at it because this was a barn burner.
Yeah, we have a lot of dates coming up, and there's a lot of slots, and a lot of fighters want to get on these cards because they know it's a big platform. So I wouldn't mind seeing them run it back.
And they're still treating that cut there. Nito, you've been in, obviously, the corner, and you've obviously been in there in many fights. What do you tell a fighter in one of these situations? Because it is a bit awkward, right? It isn't one of those things where you've worked so hard to get to this point, and unfortunately it doesn't go your way.
That's the thing is you come here to fight, you come here to win. And you get this kind of thing happening, which happens in boxing. And you can't be not disappointed. You got to be disappointed because you came here to win, And both fighters came here to win.
That was a good show of sportsmanship there from both fighters. Obviously, again, nothing intentional there, but Just an unfortunate situation that I think both ladies will learn from. We even had the corner of Elise Soto turn around and ask us, so they didn't know what had happened. They said it was at a headbutt. We all had to kind of acknowledge that one, but you go back to the drawing board and you figure it out.
Dr. Boxing Talk in the chat said, I'd rather have an early no contest as opposed to a result where the fighter was severely handicapped. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's time to make it official, so let's send it into the ring with Dasha Corrett.
Due to an accidental headbutt, the referee has ruled this bout a no contest.
Well, there it is. As everybody in the crowd let know, they maybe didn't understand what was happening, but that is going to be, I know, right? More. That's going to be our second fight of the night. Once again, an accidental headbutt, no contest, stoppage there between Elise Soto and Colleen Davis.
Listen up, let's have it. We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 185 fights on the zone every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Chanting through combinations, comebacks, and non-stop knockouts.
Are you going to take?
With big fights every week, you're the best in the world. So go on, get that belt, champ. The zone, undisputed.
We're 2 fights in, but folks, do not forget, live and free on DAZN.com and the DAZN app with no subscription required. We have our main event of the evening. Daniel the Fear Perro puts his undefeated record and his Continental Heavyweight Championship on the line versus Cesar Navarro. A game Cesar Navarro, who comes in at 13-2 with 11 knockouts. And Dan, this is the one we're all watching.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one, man. I love a heavyweight main event. Love to see Daniel the Fear Perro in there, who I believe could be a heavyweight champion one day. He's on a short list of major prospects. Navarro looking for that upset. Looking to upset the apple cart. Looking to shake things up. Huge opportunity for Navarro. And I was talking with Perro yesterday. I was like, what do you think of Navarro? You know, what do you think of Moses Atuma? What do you think of some of these Daniel Dubois? And Perro's like, I don't care. He does not watch a lot of tape. He does not care about any of the heavyweights. He just wants to fight. And I think we're going to have a good one, a big one in our.
And there we are. Look at us. Come on, Dano, flex the guns on him.
Here we go.
Now, Nonito, you saw the weigh-ins, and obviously we all know the hype around Daniel Perro. But why is this moment so big for his opponents?
Well, it's an opportunity. You know, you get the Perro guy, you know, who has this name. So for his guy who comes up and up and down in weight, this is an opportunity for him to fight a guy like Daniel Perro, who has a name, but at the same time who is a prospect, and he's all about upsetting the Perro train.
I mean, he's a high-level prospect. Dan's got him on his, heavyweights to watch list that we may get into later in the night, but
that's a big list.
It's a big list.
Get on that list,
and he's a big name on it.
He's a big name on it. I mean, listen, the heavyweight division is ripe for a turnover, and he's got to be one of the names on there. You know, he's now a ring ambassador, which has a lot of clout in the boxing world. He's going to be in some big cards moving forward, but don't get too ahead of yourself here, Danair. This is heavyweight boxing. Things can change with one punch. Navarro's the one that's going to want everything that Perro has. And that's the beauty of boxing.
We've seen it here on this series where we've had number 8 in the world, number 10 in the world fall by the wayside. But again, our guy, Julian Quiet Storm Smith.
My favorite fight in the history of most valuable prospects.
Anything can happen on these cards. So as much as the train and the rocket ship has been placed on the back of Daniel Perro, he has to go in and get the job done for all those things to happen. It's a lot of pressure on a 25-year-old, but he's been doing it time and time again on this card.
Not only that, he's been battle-tested. I mean,
he has been battle-tested, and he will once again tonight in our main event on DAZN, live and free, no subscription required. That's on DAZN.com. That's on the DAZN app. And up next, folks, we have our third fight of the evening. It is Jeremy Adorno taking on Jonathan Pachado in a massive bout here. Adorno 9-1 with 5 KOs. Pachado 6-1 with 2 KOs. a super lightweight fight coming at you right now.
Making his way to the red corner from Buenos Aires, Argentina, Jonathan Chinchu Pachado.
Chinchu.
Is that the second? No, that's not. I was going to say we had a Uruguay jersey earlier in the night.
That's right.
Now we have a Messi jersey. Obviously, Buenos Aires representing Argentina. Some say Messi the GOAT. I'm going to get a lot of hate. I'm going to go Cristiano Ronaldo.
I don't watch a lot of football, but I know that Messi is the GOAT.
Okay, all right.
He's the GOAT.
Well, listen, a man trying to have a GOAT-like fight tonight is Jonathan Pachado. He's 6-1 with 2 knockouts, looking to go to 7-1 here at the Caribe Royale Resort.
I eat goat.
And his opponent making his way to the blue corner from Kissimmee, Florida, by way of San Juan, Puerto Rico, Jeremy Adorno.
We're just going to skip over whatever Nonito just said.
Was that like an Anchorman? I love lamp.
I don't know what that was, but again, hometown fighter here, Jeremy Adorno, fighting out of Kissimmee by way of San Juan, Puerto Rico. He has been juiced all week to get this fight underway. His people are here. He's got a ton of support in the crowd. As you can see, his family is right here beside the ramp.
Yeah, his brother, Joseph Adorno.
They're seeing him walk out right now, and the people are loving it. He is 9-1 with 5 knockouts. He's 24 years old, so another young, hungry prospect looking to make his name on MVP.
The brother of Joseph Adorno, former top-ranked fighter, was in some big fights of his own, so it's a fighting family. Any of your siblings fight, Nonito?
My older brother did.
Beat his ass?
He used to beat my butt, but, you know,
I made you tougher. It made you the man that you are.
He made
today.
me tougher, definitely. You know, he lost to Darchinyan, and then I knocked Darchinyan out after that.
His next bout is set for 6 rounds in the super lightweight division, brought to you by Event Ticket Center. Don't just watch it, experience it live. Fansly, the best 18 and over content creator site, and Celsius Live Fit Essential Energy. Our judges for this bout are Rodolfo Aguilar, Harold Lewis Hunt Jr., and Eric Larson. Our referee is Massimo Montanini. Future champions are created from the most valuable prospects. Let's meet our fighters. Fighting to my left in the red corner, wearing black and gold, with an official weigh-in of 140 pounds and a record of 6 victories, 1 defeat, no draws, and 2 of those victories by knockout. From Buenos Aires, Argentina, Jonathan Chinchu Pachado. And his opponent fighting to my right in the blue corner, wearing black and white, with an official weigh-in of 136.6 pounds and a record of 9 victories, 1 defeat, no draws, and 5 of those victories by knockout. From Kissimmee, Florida, by way of San Juan, Puerto Rico, Jeremy Adorno.
Okay, guys, let's go. Tenemos que respetar la regla, respect each other and the rules too, okay? Touch him up. Okay.
High intensity here in our third bout of our preliminary card. Jeremy Adorno fighting out of Kissimmee by way of San Juan, Puerto Rico. 9-1 with 5 knockouts. He's taking on the man from Buenos Aires, Argentina, Jonathan Pachado. Round 1 of 6 here in the super lightweight division.
You set off a little bit of a storm here in the chat when you said that Ronaldo is the GOAT.
I knew I would.
A lot of Messi fans in the chat.
Always. And look at the fire, by the way.
Pachado.
Channeling Messi right away is Pachado. He's looking to fire off some right hands and set the tone early.
Pachado's giving up a little bit of height here.
If
Adorno's the bigger guy in there.
If Pachado hits something really good,
watch out! That's a big left hand there from Adorno.
Massive.
I was gonna say go.
Pachado left himself wide open, and Adorno made him pay instantly. Won't be making that mistake again.
Orthodox southpaw matchup. You always wonder for young guys, especially, how many southpaws have you seen to this point in your career? And how do you deal with a little bit of a switch up?
What we saw there too was the right hook from the southpaw position, which I think is such a lethal punch when you are a lefty in there. Adorno is very sharp early on.
You know what? Adorno is very impressive, actually. You know, he has that long shots coming right down the middle, but then the hook as well. You know, it shows in his record that he has that power, but to see it in the ring, you know, it's impressive.
And there's only a half-inch reach difference here, but it does look like Jeremy Adorno just has so much more reach and ability to get to Pachado so far.
You know, sometimes the person...
big right hand!
Hook. That overhand.
Pachado hits the canvas early as Jeremy Adorno is absolutely lethal.
That's what I said. Don't make that mistake again. He did. And Adorno made him pay for it once again. This time he drops him early, and we got a minute 30 left.
Uppercut. Oh my goodness, this could be lights out in Orlando, Florida.
There it is.
Left hand.
Another overhand left.
You can't miss with that left.
Look at the swagger right now.
Yeah, but you see Pachado's kind of grinning at him, which is universal sign for, yeah, I'm hurt. Yeah, you caught me.
You know, Adorno is, you know, his power is tremendous because of the way he throws it from a distance.
Loaded up on that.
Also,
right
look how poised Adorno is. He's got a poker face right now, despite on the brink of a knockout win.
Another left hand through as Pachado tried to land a right hand of his own. But to your point, Dan, you do see a composure out of the young 24-year-old, and another sniper
good
left
counter.
hand.
Good body shot as well.
Has Adorno even broken a sweat?
Chasing down Pachado into the corner, right hand. Pachado
he is
goes down again. Adorno looks to his corner and says it's light work.
His legs are not under him. He's right in front of us, Pacheco. His legs are wobbly.
He looks like he had about 10 shots of Patron or tequila.
He had 10 shots of leather right there from Jeremy Adorno, and it's over.
That's a good stoppage.
Machado's trying to say he's good, but he's barely saying a different story. Wow.
Good stoppage.
Very good stoppage. But impressive power punches coming from Adorno. I mean, again, he has a record, but to show it out here inside that ring with tremendous power, I mean, it's impressive.
I had my scorecard drawn up. I don't need it. Rip it up. Haven't had to use it tonight because Adorno just made easy work. Picks up his 10th win. Impressive stuff. Really poised. Counter punching with that left hand was just like a missile.
It came out like a shotgun. Out of nowhere, you saw him very composed, and again, early in this fight, he would just snap off left hand, right hook, and it just felt so effortless, Nonito. I think those are the punches, and you'll be able to speak to this more than I will, as you see the family in the ring now with Jeremy Adorno. The punches that just are effortless, and you don't have a lot of big-time movement behind. They just snap off like that. Fighters can't see them.
You know, sometimes fights like this one, you see the distance, and fights and style are just meant for a person, sometimes for a fighter.
The first knockdown, the right hand, and Soto got a little cute trying to avoid things with his hands down and you know, head movement, but unfortunately moved his head right into the line of fire for Jeremy Adorno as he continued to land hammers, and this right here was the end of it. Just uppercut. Every shot in the arsenal.
Oh, and that overhand right or right hook, because he switched at that time. You know, he switched to orthodox.
Almost landed right in our lap.
Yeah, he did. I was ready to catch him, you know.
What a performance for Jeremy Adorno. Again, had a big-time crowd here. Had a lot of people in his corner. Obviously, his family in attendance, a lot of pressure. And he delivered in a big-time way.
Yeah, Pachado's never been stopped in his career. Adorno has the skill advantage, had the experience advantage. Was supposed to win. But it's one thing when you're supposed to win on paper, then you go out and you perform, you execute, and you do it with an exclamation point to the point where I know guys in MVP will want him to come back. I want to see him fight again. So I really believe it matters how you win in boxing.
It absolutely does, and what a performance for him there. But still to come, folks, we have a star-studded main event this evening, live on DAZN and free on DAZN.com and the DAZN app with no subscription required. Denier the Fear Pero takes on Cesar Chaka Navarro in a heavyweight bout right here in Orlando, Florida, and live and free on DAZN.
Say free, Wade?
Free. Free 99.
I was just going to say that.
99, not three, free.
Free.
99, yes. One of the awesome things about the Prospect Series is you get all this action that you want to see. But speaking of the action, we just finished up, and it seems like we may potentially be ready for our official decision. Let's send it into the ring with Dasha Correct.
At the end of the first round, at the 2-minute and 59-second mark, your winner by technical knockout, Jeremy Magic Hands Adorno.
Once again, your winner by TKO moves to 10-1 with 6 knockouts. It's the local product, Jeremy Adorno. And it looks like potentially we may have Sibley standing by. She's trying to work her way through.
There's a lot of Adornos in that ring.
I know. It's the whole family. Everybody's
One
in
Adorno,
there.
two Adorno, two, three.
While we wait for Sibley, let's take a look at some of these highlights. And again, just composure, calm, saw everything.
And just that distance, you know, that distance itself. And because the way he throws those punches at a distance was very, very powerful because it landed in the right time.
Talking about the offense, and it was fantastic, Dano, but it all started with being able to see what Pachado had, and once he figured out he didn't have anything for him, Adorno turned it up and just threw some heavy, heavy leather.
That left hand is lethal.
This right hand on the end sequence, boom, and the lights went out. What a performance, and he is standing by with the 4th member of our team, Sibley Scholes.
All right, we are here right now in the ring. I want to say it's by TKO with Jeremy, but we have a little lady with us too. What's your name, Mama?
Kalea.
Oh, she knows it. She's ready for the camera. Who is this to you?
My daughter, my everything.
How old is she?
3.
Are you 3 years old, Mama?
Yeah.
Did you watch Papa in the ring?
Yeah.
And how did he do?
Bueno.
Bueno. Oh, so he did good, huh? He's a winner.
I want to go with Mommy.
Oh, where's Mommy? Mommy, she's ready for you to know what you did this evening in this ring here. Yes, let's keep her here if she wants to stay. You're okay to stay, right?
Want to stay with Papa for a little bit? Okay.
Yeah? Okay, I like your necklace.
I don't want to stay.
Oh, maybe one more minute. One more minute, okay? We'll get this done quickly. Oh, she's very vocal, and that's how ladies are. We say what we feel. Give it up, Orlando, for little mama right here. Only 3 years old.
Only 3 years old. Smartest kid I know.
You are holding your flag right now. We're here in Orlando, Florida. We got Jake Paul's name here, Most Valuable Promotions. This is Prospects 12. You got a team behind you. You are sweating profusely because you went out there and put it all on the line. What does that mean to you, and to hold your daughter in your hands after that TKO?
First of all, I got to thank Jesus Christ, man. Without him, nothing is possible. I would not be here right now. And I want to thank my family, my team, my coaches, my wife, my mom, my dad, everybody that is in the team. We put a perfect game plan. We had a hard training camp. We trained hard every day, you know, going through ups and downs. And somehow we still here. And it's all God. I want to thank MVP Promotions for putting me on here, Undisputed Promotion. I want to thank everybody that's behind everything. And I'm more than happy to be here. This is like a dream. We started chapter 2 with this fight, and I'm excited to see what's next. I'm excited to see what's, you know, everything, what's after this.
Before you get out of here, I know we got to get on to the next fight, but I just want to say, me too, learning boxing, understanding boxing, being here with you fighters and understanding your life. You put everything on the line. You have your baby girl here with you who's only 3 years old, and she's like, I want mama, but I'm going to hold daddy's hand and be here. How life-changing has boxing been for you? And to know that you can keep coming out here and sweating and putting your blood, sweat, and tears into something that you love.
I have 2 daughters, and everything I do, my strength is always on them. Every time I wake up in the morning, I see them, I got to go get it, bro. I can't lay back, and, you know, they the reason that I'm here, too. I had a lot of times where I could have quit, you know, ups and downs, like I said, but my girls keep me there, you know. My wife keep me there, my family keep me there, and my whole team is just great, you know. Chapter 2 started, and we're not going to back down. We're not looking back at nothing. It's a new Jeremy, new Magic Hands, and anybody at 126, we're coming. 126, featherweight, we're coming. Jeremy Magic Hands Adorno.
Magic Hands is ready. Got the TKO tonight right here in Orlando, Florida. Wade, we're taking it back to you guys over right now.
What a performance for Jeremy Adorno. And again, here in his hometown, he gets it done. But folks, the action doesn't stop. Stay tuned. We have our main event of the preliminary card, Perez versus Dubois, up next.
This isn't new. This is world-class sport at its peak. Witness football, volleyball, basketball and boxing. The biggest names. The biggest stages.
Brilliant finish!
The best in the world.
Got a lot to celebrate.
Unmissable.
This is off the scale.
This is where you watch.
Written in the stars!
DAZN is the global home of women's sport.
I'm Nat Dove. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I've just signed with MVP. I think signing with MVP is going to be a great opportunity for me to showcase my talent on high platforms. We have a really good, solid female crew, and for me to be a part of that, I'm really looking forward to that. I look up to these girls, and I'm really happy to be a part of their team. I started when I was 11, had my first fight 3 months later. I've attended every national tournament up until I was 18. I've won almost every single one I've attended. If you guys have not seen me fight already, please tune in because it's only getting better from here. I don't have anybody in mind. I'm ready for whoever wants to smoke and whoever wants to fight.
She is ready for the smoke. Tonight, Nat Dove will take on Nayeli Rodriguez in our first fight of the main card. Once again, live and free on the DAZN app and DAZN.com. No subscription required. Dano, talk to me about No Love.
No Love, though. I've seen her smile more. Remember early on when she would fight for us, she always looked like she was mean-mugging in there. I think she's coming into her own right now. You saw that she signed with MVP. We've had a slew of signings, especially in the women's boxing. I think this is the next up. You know, the top of MVP are Amanda Serrano and Alicia Baumgartner. They've reached a pinnacle. We're talking about unified champions, undisputed champions. But who's up next, right? We talk about it with the heavyweights, too, in our main event with Danier Pereira. I believe he's up next. Who's up next in women's boxing? Nat Dove is on that list as well because she's got mean intentions in there. She throws to knock her opponents out. She had her last win came via stoppage, and she had a really long camp for this one. You know, we're talking about 4 or 5 months of training.
You know, one thing that I've noticed and I've known with Nat Dove is, you know, being around there and training with DJ and all that stuff a couple of days ago, her mindset is all about growth. Her mindset is about how I can get better. And this is why she's smiling more now, because she's confident. She's confident in this arena.
Nat, a little love, Dove, potentially. A lot of love for the sport of boxing. And, again, we've seen her amateur pedigree. It's why MVP was so interested in. We talk about her signing and why that's such a big deal, Dan. You're seeing MVP start to look at the next generation, the current generation of women's boxing and putting an importance on that. Tonight's fight is another example of that. She'll be fighting 4 rounds, 3-minute rounds, equal to the men's sport. I think it's a massive deal.
Yeah, she told us it's a game changer. It's life-changing, she actually said, fighting 3-minute rounds. And that's something that Amanda Serrano has championed, and we're going to see hopefully more of that in women's boxing. There are arguments being made on both sides, but Nat believes that 3-minute rounds really helps her style because she likes to set up her punches. We just watched a women's fight that was a little more of a frantic pace. The thing with the frantic pace when you only have 2 minutes is by the time you're setting up shots and you're getting into your rhythm, round's over and you're going back to the corner.
Right.
With 3 minutes, I think it does benefit Nat Dove's style, and she'll be looking for a knockout win tonight.
You know what? Women in the gym are sparring 3 minutes.
Oh, they're going, yeah.
You know, so every time, from all the times that I've known since 2001, I've sparred Lucia Riker, I've sparred numerous women, Jelena Mercado, I don't know her name.
You've sparred them?
I sparred all of them.
Wow.
You know, and we've trained for 3 minutes. You know, so even from the very get-go, from the very beginning of women's boxing that we've noticed, there was always 3 minutes. So this is their time. There is their place where they can set up, especially for styles like Nat Dove, you know, to set things up.
Interesting point on this fight tonight specifically. It's a rematch. These two ladies faced off in the amateur ranks. I think it was a split decision win to Nat.
Right, 5 judges in the amateurs. 4 of the judges had it for Dove, 1 had it for Natalie Rodriguez. And talk about Natalie Rodriguez, she's ready to go. I mean, she's got a lot of not much amateur experience, but she has more pro experience than Nat Dove. And she's looking for the upset too. She said, hey, I know a lot of attention's going to be on Nat Dove. She's signed with MVP, and you know she trains with the Waltons, but she's like, don't overlook me. You know, I fought Nat. I know I understand her style, and she believes she will come out on top.
She's compared the styles Natalie Rodriguez has. She says they fight similar. I asked Nat Dove. She said, absolutely not. We don't fight the same at all.
We're back-to-back Zoom calls, so we had a quick that was good by you to ask her that, because she was like, what? No, absolutely not. So,
and she just, by the way, Nat No Love Dove coming off her first knockout victory. How important is that, Flash? You've won fights as a prospect, but to get that first knockout under your belt.
It's a first. There's 2 things for everything, right? Is it going to make you be crazy because you want it again, or it's going to make you want it, but then in a composed way, but you know you can make it happen?
What are you looking for tonight, Dan? We talked about all the accolades. We talked about the moment. Does she go out and perform and get that next knockout, take that next step as a prospect?
I believe so. I think the bright lights suit her well. The 3 minutes suit her well. I don't think she'll go in there and necessarily look for a knockout because, you know, her trainer will never, a trainer would never tell you to do that, but I believe she will sit down on her punches, and I would not be shocked if she does have her second stoppage win.
Well, listen, I think every woman in boxing right now is taking a look, you know, a couple of weeks, a month ahead.
What's going on then?
A massive fight between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, the trilogy. We talked to Nat, and listen, you have to be honest and say, listen, I think everybody knows you want to be on that card, but you got to get business done first. How do you not overlook tonight?
It's very difficult at times because you get so excited, but then, you know, you have a right leader like DJ Walton, you know, the team has to remind you, and because you want it enough that you're going to focus on this and on to the next, you know. So, yeah, it's very difficult for a lot of fighters.
Something we're seeing in boxing, you have to incentivize fighters. You can't give them everything on the platter right away. With nothing more incentive, like no bigger incentive for Nat Dove than to possibly appear on Taylor Serrano 3, which will be a massive, massive event at Madison Square Garden. That's all all you need, right? All the motivation you need to get that win tonight.
The 3 minutes, we talk about it in sparring, but in the fight itself, when you're used to that 2-minute flurry, how do you calm down? How do you not just shoot all your shots in those first 2 minutes? Because no matter how much you train it, you spar it, you're used to under the lights, they say go and you go. How do you slow down a little bit?
Well, it's not so much as slowing down. You're actually being in the right moment, in the right environment, because you're so used to it that you're breathing properly now. You're not trying to rush anything. So you're actually thinking more, and you're going in a pace that you've been training all your life.
She is in the gym with Javon Wana-Walton, who is another MVP signee. And he's actually going to be in the corner tonight, so I think that'll be another interesting wrinkle.
There's a rumor he might join us in the booth.
That's right. We will potentially have Wana-Walton as well. But we're excited for that fight. We're excited for our preliminary main event. But before we get there, the 4th member of our team, Simply Skulls, is standing by with a very important person to MVP.
VIP is in the building. Mike Leonardi, someone that I am watching 24/7. You're the reason I'm here too as well. You brought so many of us on board. You were the head of boxing for Most Valuable Promotions. This is number 12. Can you believe that? We are here right now in Orlando, Florida. Did you, number one, think that this was going to happen right now?
No, I mean, that's the hope, right? Is give young fighters a platform, give them an opportunity to elevate themselves, prove themselves on a global stage, you know, and it's number 12 couldn't do it without our great partner at Caribe Royale and Boxside Promotions. It's been awesome.
Now, Mike, you know everything. You know everything, the ins and outs of the mind of a fighter, the marketing of the fighters, everything ins and outs. Really, guys, check out this man's whole resume. Knowing that we've got Jake coming up since the Paul and Tyson fight, this is his next one with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. What does that mean to you, knowing that we're coming to LA, we're bringing that fight, and we've got a lot going on?
Man, Paul Chavez, right? That's too, like, he fought Tyson. Now Jake's fighting a Chavez, boxing royalty, the son of the legend, the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. I mean, in Anaheim, it's going to sell out. It's going to be crazy. Jake became famous. Jake blew up in LA, right? So it's almost like home for him. But Chavez lives in LA, Mexican American. It's going to be a great clash of crowds. It's going to be a great clash of styles. I mean, it can't be a bad fight. It's going to be a war.
Absolutely. I was talking to, my partner in crime, Coach Larry Wade. He's out there with him now in Puerto Rico. They're leaning into that, fight mode right now. What you've seen so far from Jake and understanding working with him as a business partner and also him as an athlete, what has been going through your mind to see what he's accomplished so far?
It's incredible. So I've been with MVP about 2.5 years now. How far Jake has come. I think the thing that people realize the least about Jake is how hard he actually works in the ring and in the gym at his boxing. Every fight, every camp, it's like a new fighter. He's leaps and bounds better than where he was, 2.5 years ago. It's like a totally different fighter, and it's been amazing to watch. It's been amazing to play a small part in it.
Nakisa Badarian, we got that name. I'm going to talk to him later tonight in this fight card. When you see the partnership that you guys all have together, I talked to him in Toronto in our last prospects. The advocacy for women in boxing has been very important to all of you to make sure that is something that stands out. We've got MSG, the trilogy, coming up, y'all. Make sure you tune in July. Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. To have that make history again, a new situation in boxing, how special is that for you? And what do you expect everyone at home to see and everyone in that ring to see when they're there?
It's incredible. I mean, it's, in my humble opinion, it's going to be the greatest women's boxing event of all time. It's all women's. We have 3 more fights that we're announcing shortly. We're not done. It's already the best women's card of all time, but we're not done. We got 3 more fights we're going to announce. It's going to be incredible. Almost every single person I talked to that was at the first Taylor Serrano fight says it was the best environment they've ever been in, best crowd, best energy of a boxing event they've ever experienced. We're returning to the scene of the crime, MSG. We're going to have the Puerto Rican crowd for Amanda. We're going to have the Irish crowd for Katie. I mean, look, there's no sure things in boxing or in life, but you put Katie and Amanda in the ring together, it's fireworks. That's as sure as it gets.
He's saying you can't lose, so you got to tune in. And again, like I said, you're watching it right now. This is MVP. This is Prospects number 12. But number 13 is around the corner as well. I know 3 days ago we just made the announcement. What can we look forward to seeing in those fights and that main card coming up here in Orlando?
So we have, people don't know this. I didn't know this until it was pointed out to me recently. Orlando has the biggest Brazilian population in the United States. So we thought, why not bring a Brazil-centric boxing event to Orlando? We have Beatriz Ferreira, 2-time Olympic medalist, world champion, pound for pound, one of the best women fighters in the world. She's defending her title against Maria Ferreira from Argentina. It's going to be a barn burner. And then Keno Marley, new assignee of MVP, Brazilian Olympian, making his pro debut. Guy's a tremendous talent. I've been following him the last couple of years. I saw him in the amateurs. Super talented, super talented.
Knowing what you put into this sport and knowing how much you love it, and I know that you are a football fan, a baseball fan, basketball, everything outside of boxing as well. What have you learned about yourself in this sport so far and working with Most Valuable Promotions?
Oh, man, working with MVP has been, it's a dream job, right? It's like one of those pinch me moments every few months. It's like, I'm listed as the matchmaker for Mike Tyson's last fight. I was like, what? my earliest life memory is watching Mike Tyson with my dad on at the time, which was a big 35-inch TV with the wood paneling on the sides and stuff. We're going way back, but no, I mean, this has been, I mean, it's no better company to work for. I feel like we're already the present of boxing, but also the future. I think in very short order, we've established the best roster of women's boxers in the world, and we're announcing more next week. I mean, we're doing tremendous things in the sport for everybody on our roster, for all our employees. I mean, it's life-changing. It really is.
Before we get out of here and talk about how great your suit is, I want to mention again, MSG. It's not only two amazing women headlining this trilogy. We're going back to where it all started with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. It's an all-women's card. That is very special, and we appreciate everything that you guys are doing for us. So thank you so much for advocating for women. Last but not least, this is number 12. We're here in Orlando, and Mike Leonardi got his suit on.
Thanks, Sibley.
Do you want to toss it back to the guy?
All right, guys, let's get it popping. Golden Hulk next, the crowd favorite, man. Let's go.
That would be cool to be a former world champion. That would be a step up and another accomplishment.
It's going to be a good test for both guys. It's a real fight.
Saturday, June 28th, live on the Zone pay-per-view, El Gallo de Dorado, Jake Paul will take on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. And of course, we have to talk about it, gentlemen. What a fight that'll be. Dan, walk me through that one.
Listen, if you took away the celebrity status of Jake Paul and you just put a guy in there with 11 fights, and you're putting him up against a guy with 60 pro fights who was a former world champion, you would say that we can't do that. That's a step too far. But then you throw in it's Jake Paul, and you throw in it's Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., son of a legend. And this is an entertainment business. Let's have a good fight. I believe it will be a very good fight. Talk to Oscar De La Hoya. He said, don't be fooled. Chavez may train in living rooms. He may do some unorthodox training methods. But he is coming to win this fight. He's coming to right some wrongs. I believe if Chavez takes this serious and he comes in good shape, he's going to give Jake a lot of problems inside the ring.
Well, Jake Paul, his incredible work ethic, you can't buy that. I've seen him train. I've trained with him. He works incredibly hard, and that's something that no one can ever take away from him. But mainly, he's the kind of guy that learns. He has the IQ to keep going and keep getting better. As you can see, all the fights that we've seen him, he's tremendously gotten his level up.
And let's make no mistake, Jake brings a ton of fans to fights. So does Chavez Jr. Whatever we want to say about how the career went and the expectations on it, that last name, and particularly because of Senior, but yes, Junior as well, still brings a ton of fans.
It's a gift and the curse having that last name. Having your dad be the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. And there are times in Chavez's career where we wanted so much more out of him. There are times when he exceeded expectations. There are times when he's been down and out, and now he has a golden opportunity to beat Jake Paul. He has a golden opportunity to get himself back into the mix. I mean, there's some big fights on this undercard. Zurdo Ramirez is fighting on this undercard. That's a whole nother story in this fight, too, is could Jake Paul potentially get a legitimate title shot against Zurdo Ramirez at cruiserweight? I mean, it's going to be one of those nights where we're going to see what Jake Paul's made of. We could potentially see if Chavez can right some of those wrongs. We're going to see if Jake really has been telling us for years now, right, that he wants to be a world champ. It's there. The path is certainly there, Wade.
Hey,
he definitely is. Go ahead, Nonito.
Chavez Jr., last hurrah. This is his moment. This is his time. He's going to give it all he's got, and I believe that this is a fight.
Let me ask you, Wade, you've been covering this scene for a really long time. You've been covering Jake's career for a really long time. What do you think of this fight?
I mean, listen, I look more at Chavez Jr. because I know what Jake brings. I know that he's going to be in shape. I know he's going to be ready. I know he's going to have everything dialed in. I want to see Chavez Jr. do the same, and I've been hearing all the right things. His manager saying he's training, he's in shape. His father saying that He's been to see him 2 times in training, and he's proud of him, looking at him, saying, you know what? Yeah, you can go and do this. Tickets are on sale now. And again, that one is live on DAZN pay-per-view June 28th in the Honda Center. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. But folks, we still have a preliminary main event to get to. And you talked about Golden, Dan. Well, how about the Golden Hulk himself? Ariel Perez making his return to Most Valuable Prospects. He takes on Mario Bedoya in a light heavyweight bout. He's given up 4 inches of reach, but we know that that doesn't necessarily matter when the Golden Hulk steps in. Let's send it down to Dasha Corrette with our fighter introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, who's ready for the last fight of the prelims? We find ourselves in the lightweight heavyweight division. Making his way to the red corner from Michoacán, Mexico, Mario Bedoya.
Mario Bedoya has the tough task of going up against the Hulk in his backyard.
It's not just Ariel Perez he'll be fighting tonight, Dan. It'll be the entirety of this crowd. If we could get a crowd shot here, you would see all of the family, friends, potential work buddies, former associates, anybody that's ever met Ariel Perez is in the crowd tonight, and they always get rowdy.
That is correct.
His opponent making his way to the blue corner from Tampa, Florida, Ariel, the Golden Hulk, Perez.
There he is, Ariel the Golden Hulk Perez, representing Tampa Bay. Got the Buccaneers on his chest and on his back here. A diehard fan, and listen, he fights with cannons. He fights bombs away. And as this crowd is letting you know, they're waiting for a spectacular performance. I mean, look at this, Dan.
April 2024, Perez fought Stephen Motley. It was an off-camera fight, but I believe it was one of the drunkest, craziest fights I've ever seen. He hit the canvas early, Perez. I think when his head hit the canvas, he woke him up. He stormed back for a 4th-round TKO. Members of his team were trying to get in the ring during the fight.
We almost had to stand up and stop it. It was crazy.
It was a wild fight, and that's the type of energy that Perez brings, and his fans. They're great people. He's looking to perform again tonight and put on a show.
This preliminary main event will consist of 6 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Brought to you by Event Ticket Center. Don't just watch it, experience it live. Fansly, the best 18 and over content creator site, and Celsius, Live Fit Essential Energy. Your judges for this bout are Alexander Levin, William Glover, and Rodolfo Aguilar. Your referee is Christopher Young. Future champions are created from the most valuable prospects. With that being said, everyone, let's meet our fighters. Introducing first, fighting to my left in the red corner, wearing white, with an official weigh-in of 173.8 pounds and a record of 4 victories, 3 defeats, no draws, and 3 of those victories by knockout. From Michoacán, Mexico, Mario Bedoya. And his opponent fighting to my right, wearing black and red, with an official weight of 175.0 pounds and an undefeated record of 6 victories, 4 of those victories by knockout. From Tampa, Florida, Ariel, the Golden Hulk, Perez.
Do your time, man. Do your thing. Time to shine. Blue corner. All right, Jim, listen. Your truck's a little high, so everything up here can be considered good, okay? Jim, you receive structural dress room. Make tough team fight. Fans all the time. Take sales all the time. Touch them up.
We're almost set for the main event of our preliminary card. A light heavyweight matchup, 6 rounds featuring the most Tampa man probably in the world, Ariel Golden Hulk Perez, taking on Mario Bedoya.
The most Tampa person in the world.
Look at the shorts, Dano. He has every sports team from Tampa on there.
Love that.
Round 1. And if you've watched an Ariel Perez fight before, you know it doesn't take him much time to get going.
No, and he's susceptible to big punches, too. And getting hit, too. So he'll give it. He'll also take it. That's what makes him exciting. I'm sure he's trying to shore up some of his defense.
Bedoya comes out with a triple jab there, Nonito, setting the tone.
Right. I mean, you can see with Perez, the way he throws his punches, his chin is up there still, you know, instead of tucking them in. But he does have a lot of power when he throws his combination. But that in itself could be an opportunity for Bedoya.
Bedoya is coming off of 2 first-round stoppages himself.
So you can't overlook Bedoya. Bedoya can fight.
Mexican too, so come on.
A lot of these Mexican guys can fight.
I believe so.
Listen, Ariel Perez might not be tucking his chin, but most fights he's tucking them in, is in putting them to sleep. And he's 6-0 with 4 KOs.
Good double jab and a straight right hand coming from Perez. You know, it's a good setup. We like to see that from him.
Nice chopping right hand there. He's trying to throw going backward, but like you said, Nonito, that chin stays up and he stays on center line. Got to be careful there.
Keep an eye on that short right hook from Bedoya. He landed a nice little short hook in an exchange before.
There's a right hand that hurts.
But it's been all Perez so far.
And again, there's little moments that Perez throws could be Bedoya's opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. He threw a right hand in between those shots.
Right. And I believe the jab,
right hand there
to
from
set
Perez.
his big shots would be.
He's not jabbing at all, Bedoya.
Neither guy right now. Both guys sitting down.
I think it's in their contract. No jabs tonight, guys.
And slugging it out as both guys land hooks there. And Bedoya now fires back.
Bedoya landing a big overhand right on Perez. Just again, another overhand right. I mean, this is a fight now. This is how it's going to be. And this is how it's always be with Perez, you know. Once he gets going, he gets going.
Lead hand uppercut right there from Bedoya. Eats a left hook for his troubles there as he tries to go to the well one too many times. Big left hook there and some material went flying. Can we keep this pace up for all 6 rounds, guys?
We're going to find out. That's the beauty of Hulk fights. Anything can happen in a Hulk fight.
Hulk smash. I was going to say he's looking to, but as this round has gone on, you've seen both guys maybe taper that output a little more, but big right hand there.
Straight right hand by Perez. I mean, this is what he does. Once he gets going, he just goes, you know, and sometimes the defense gets thrown away.
Yeah, Bedoya is doing a pretty good job of surviving this round. He has to kind of hope that Perez punches himself out a little bit to get back into the fight.
Solid, sneaky short right hand there from Perez.
Definitely a clear 10-9 round for Perez.
Good overhand and a hook and a straight right hand coming from Bedoya. Bedoya's coming in right now. But Perez coming in with the 1-2 that lands and rock Bedoya.
I didn't even hear the bell there, but there's the end of round 1. And again, just fireworks from the first punch. Both guys throwing hammers in a round that you saw go to the local product, Ariel Perez.
Yeah, he threw more punches, he landed more punches, cleaner, harder shots. Pretty much every offensive scoring criteria was met for Perez. But Bedoya had some moments. He just has to find openings in between those punches. Because you know Perez is going to come out and throw combinations like that. He's not jabbing. So Bedoya has to kind of punch with Perez if he wants to have any success. Or he also has to hope that Perez gasses out.
Right.
Because he might. That was a frantic first round.
But that's what Perez does, you know. He goes out there and tries to destroy his opponent. He goes Hulk smashing all over the place just to do what Perez does, you know. So Bedoya has to be just keep his hands up and avoid those big shots coming from Perez.
And a true Mexican-style fighter as well here, Bedoya. You saw forward pressure. You saw him put his head right in Ariel Perez's chest and try to keep that pace. And I do think that is a part of the strategy here, is to hope that the big man punches himself out of it.
It's one strategy you can certainly employ.
2-1 right there. And here comes Ariel Perez. And a right hand.
He said, you know what? Yeah, I can keep this pace up, and I will.
That was beautiful, though. He jabbed to the body, and he went upstairs and downstairs, and that's why he was able to set those big shots up, you know, and he needs to do more of that.
How about another 2-1 right there? Again, most people don't see that combination.
A 5-piece nugget right there.
Bedoya is switching left and right to confuse Perez.
it's just Perez is first every time. In all these combinations, Perez is the first one landing. Bedoya is reacting to everything.
You know, so I was going to say, you're seeing Perez use his jab here in the second round.
A lot of improvement from the first time we've seen him. A lot of improvement coming from Perez. Huge power shots, combinations.
That body shot stopped Bedoya dead in his tracks.
Great work here in the second round from Ariel Perez. Bedoya looks to try to turn the tide there with some body shots of his own, but eats a jab for his troubles. Just over a minute and 40 seconds left here in our second round, and here comes Bedoya on the offense.
You know, Bedoya also can get clips with big shots when he's on the offense. They both disregard their defense.
Hook right hand from Perez, and he backs Dubois up.
But understanding, because they are trying to go for the kill. That's pretty much why their defense are not present in offense.
You're hearing the crowd. They're chanting for the Golden Hulk as Bedoya tries to throw a combination of his own, and he eats a right hand.
He's countering too, Hulk, which is really nice to see too. He's on front foot, he's in the lead, and then he countered pretty nice there too.
Let him go. Let him go.
You know, he's definitely improved from the first time we've seen him. You know, there's more level of strategy and more level of talent and skills coming from.
Short right hand there from Perez, but Bedoya is just trying to walk through everything and push him into the ropes here.
You know, he's stepping back, Perez, and he's throwing that right hand, knowing that Bedoya is just coming in. Oh, good.
That was a headbutt right there.
That was a headbutt. But good body shots coming from.
Oh, nice uppercut from Perez. Left hook behind it.
Let him go. Let him go, Red.
A classic Mexico versus Puerto Rico matchup as well. And we know those things tend to get a little bit feisty. That rivalry dates back decades and decades, but tonight they're putting it all on the line. As another left hook right hand from Ariel Perez, and he lands a big one.
Bedoya is holding on. That means he's hurt.
Last few seconds here in this second round. A fantastic round for Ariel, the Golden Hulk Perez. What do you think, Dano? 3-2. What are you saying?
It's 2 rounds to none, Perez. He fought round 2 just like he fought round 1. I think he probably threw the same amount of punches, a very similar amount of output from Perez. So, you know, the gas tank is still there. Nonito, the gas tank is still there, which I'm impressed with the most.
You know, good body shot coming in from Perez. You know, the thing is, he's used to fighting and sparring this way and training in this way, so he's going to keep doing what he is, you know, what he's known to do or what he expects himself to do. So he definitely got the gas tank, and he's landing those big shots. He's presenting better jabs and setting up big right hands just right now. You know, those big shots coming from him. I mean, we've seen a lot of improvement from him from the last time.
What I like that Ariel Perez is doing is he's not smothering his work. You're seeing him reframe, the 2-1 reframe. Combination frame with the lead, frame with the lead. And that's, I think, when we talk about improvements from the first fight, I think that's the biggest thing I can point to. He really wanted that knockout the first time we saw him. And when he did, he just went full bore, crashing into range. This time we're seeing a patience and a little bit of a setup to what he's doing. Look at that double left hook there from Perez and gets out of the way.
And like you said, you know, he is watching his distance. You know, he's making the guy miss. As before, he was getting caught with it, you know, because he loved to throw those big shots.
And he definitely's worked his way into this fight, Dan.
Yeah, for sure. He's very, very game, very tough. He's let his hands go a little
big
more.
right hand there from Perez.
We're going back to that Perez point. His last fight was a 6-round decision. You know, he had a string of knockouts and stoppages. He's more than just a brawler. And I think we're seeing that, you know, from that fight we had here at Prospects a year ago. You know, he looks like he's worked a lot more on his boxing, which is very admirable, especially at age 33.
Nice short right hand to the body there as he falls in behind the hook right hand. Right back to the jab as well.
Good body shot, and then a left hook to the top. He's doing really well.
Both guys trade right hands there. It could have gotten dangerous for either fighter in those 50-50s.
You know, again, one thing I'd like to see with Perez is set his distance with that jab, and then set his big shots after that. You know,
still some clubbing shots here from Perez as he lands a left hook, a right hand, and Bedoya's just kind of rolling with it.
Bedoya with the 1-2
right hand there. Absolutely, and back and forth we go.
Perez went backwards with his hands down. Bedoya made him pay.
Bedoya.
And Perez turns the tide again. Maybe a sense from both fighters of the tide starting to turn just when Bedoya thinks that Perez doesn't have anymore. He hits him with a combination.
Good body shot, body work for Perez and mixing it up.
Oh, big
good
left
hook, but set up with those 2 body shots and went up to the top with the left hook.
What in the world is Bedoya made of? Because he just ate it and looked at him.
Mexican. They're tough. We know this.
They got the Homer Simpson head.
Goodness gracious. What a shot. And what a round here for both fighters as Bedoya continues to stay in the pocket as the sweat and potentially blood flies off both fighters right on our lap here.
Hey, you gotta give it to these guys, man. They're throwing bombs, they're throwing a lot of shots, and they're still going.
We asked about it, Nodito. We said, can they keep this pace up? And they absolutely have.
Absolutely.
There's Perez on the front foot, walking Bedoya into the corner. There's Bedoya firing back, and again, back and forth combinations from both fighters. Oh, short right hand, left hook from Bedoya.
And Perez, he's turning into the Hulk when he's not caring about his defense now. You know, he got hit with some big shot, he got hit another big shots. You know, but
what a round. And again, Bedoya finding success in moments where I do think that Perez still is leading the dance in this fight. You're starting to see Bedoya turn the tide just a bit, Flash. Just a bit.
Go baby, go baby.
Well, I think, you know, exhaustion might be the key into why they're getting hit those big shots too, you know. A lot of it, especially.
Yeah,
stuff like that right there, Dan.
I didn't give Bedoya that last round, but he is game. He's very game in this fight. Perez has a few lapses on defense, not as many as we've seen in the past. You know, when he has his hands down or when he's taking a little bit of a break, Perez, Bedoya steps in and lands something. So that was a very competitive round, but I still have it 3-0 for Perez.
As we get set for our 4th round, again, we talk about the pace of this fight. A little respect there shown from both fighters. I think they both earned it out of each other in these first 3 rounds. You do wonder, Golden Hulk just came out of a 6-round decision. He knows how to go the 6, but he's got a live fighter in front of him, and he continues to fire off with big shots in the corner.
Right hand.
He's got in the corner here. And Bedoya's going to have to fight his way out of the corner.
Another short right hand there from Perez, and he goes to the body.
Corner asking for Hulk smash.
Good mixing it up, but Bedoya again coming back when Perez.
Oh, and a right hand left hook from Bedoya. As he tries to turn the tide, but Perez back on his jab. Looks to circle, keep himself safe. There's a nice lead hand from Bedoya.
I just got a bunch of sweat on my face right now coming from these guys.
Which are that sweat or blood?
This is say sweat.
And Flash, we've seen some massive punches from both fighters, especially the Golden Hulk, Ariel Perez. What goes through a fighter's mind when he throws a punch like that, one of his hardest punches, and a fighter still stands in front of him?
That depends on who's fighting. You know, for me, I just keep breaking them down. A lot of people will question it, right? And like, what the heck is going on with this guy, right? So for me, I just go out there and then just keep cracking the rock until it breaks.
Looks like that's what the Golden Hulk is trying to do here, but Bedoya, as game as they come, with about a minute and 25 seconds left in their 4th round here. Oh, short right hand there.
Great right hand. And he took it. He just ate it.
He has walked through every single shot here. The toughness of Mario Bedoya cannot be questioned.
You know, one thing I do like about the improvement that Perez is doing is he's going to the body, he's going to the head, he's mixing it all up, you know, and just that Bedoya is just one of those guys that you have to really break him apart in order for him to go down.
There's a right hand.
He set it up with the jab, you know, like we were talking about. He'll paw that jab, he'll push him off with that jab, and then he'll set that right hand, just like that. The right hand's gonna come up after that.
35 seconds left here in this 4th round. You know, it's the old adage, Nonito. Sometimes you have to nail a guy to the canvas before he'll give up. And there's another right hand off the left hook from Bedoya. And credit to Bedoya for his toughness, but Ariel Perez has been hit with, there's another big shot there. He's looking to tee off.
I think we need an umbrella here somehow.
Yeah, it's raining here inside the Carib.
Bedoya, man, going in there, a lot of heart, man. You know, you can't go
taking punishment though.
Oh, good one, too.
This corner needs to take a look.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
I was just going to come to you with that, Dan. What do you think as we get into this fourth round? I mean, the punishment's adding up.
He's not winning any of these rounds. They're close rounds. He's game. Sometimes, you know, he's very brave. I mean, it's up to the corner to kind of see what their guy's made of and make a decision. I'm not saying stop it right now, but take a look. That's a lot of punishment he's taking.
You know, the most unfortunate thing is the trainers don't really care too much about it because they want their fighters to keep going.
They should care.
Is that just
nothing works in a brave corner?
Truth, though, Nonito, is that sometimes a corner is just, you know, they've worked so hard, they've gotten to that moment, they may overlook some of those fighter details and go, no, we have to finish this.
Especially for Mexican fighters too. I mean, just any fighter in general, you know, is because in this level of fights, this is their opportunity to show up. And that was a big shot coming from Perez that landed on Bedoya, you know. So this is where the referee and the doctor need to really say, hey, man, this guy's taking so much punishment, he needs to be looked at.
See if we get to that point here in our 5th of 6 rounds. Good right hand right off the bat.
You know, I think Chris, the referee, is looking to step in a little bit.
Well, it's not the chain of command like the corner takes a look. If they're not going to stop it, then the referee will take it into his hands. But, you know, that last round is when we saw Bedoya, like, visually, he took a step back and was like, oh, man. Like, you saw it on his face where in the previous 4 rounds, he was eating those punches a little better.
And it's a massive welt under the left eye of Bedoya. So, you know, we're now talking about compromised vision as well.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is, these guys are not going to stop. And they take the corner to really understand that, you know. And Perez is not throwing feather shots. He's throwing rock shots, you know. He's throwing big, heavy shots.
Beautiful left hook to the body as he steps in there. And you talked about the variety we've seen in this fight. Ariel Perez has shown the jab, he's shown the double jab, he's shown the setup shots, and now it's paying off as we get into this 5th round.
I've also been impressed with his output. Yeah, it's gone down a little since those first 2 rounds. That's where, you know, he's fighting at a frantic pace. But he's still throwing, you know, I would say in the 40 to 50 range, which is a really good output for someone of his size.
Oh, my goodness.
Double hook there again from Perez.
Oh, hey, Bedoya coming back with the shift and a left hook.
Yeah, but look at Perez answers it right away. That's the best way to stop any momentum. You know that.
Of course.
Don't give him an inch, you know. Stay right on him.
Perez gets right in Bedoya's grill and starts going downstairs to the body, right hand upstairs. Bedoya felt that one and he tries to turn Perez around.
My goodness.
This is a fight of heart and will at this point.
Rock'em sock'em, baby. Rock'em sock'em. Your turn, my turn. Let's go.
Right here.
Oh, big shots coming from both guys. Again, the heart of Bedoya, man, this is, you know, you got to give that credit. But Perez himself, you know, we expect Perez to do what Perez does, the Hulk. But impressively, he's using a lot of the jab. He's using a lot of techniques that we didn't see in the last couple fights for him.
What you call trench warfare, huh, Dano?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were fighting in a phone booth. Now it looks like they're in a box. Maybe their fatigue is starting to set in, which can't really get on them too much because they've been fighting at a frantic pace.
It's a left hook from Bedoya as he still tries to fire back.
Just look at the crispness of Perez's punches compared to Bedoya's.
I was going to say, that right hand just continues to find a home in a big way.
Bedoya's punches are arm punches because his legs are just not there anymore.
Last few seconds here in round 5. Oh, another massive right hand and another one. Perez teeing off here.
Man, I'm impressed with Perez. He's showing a lot of facets of his game.
Another big-time round for the Golden Hulk.
He looks over to his crowd and gives a wink. He's got a gas tank, this guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's really big, too. He's very muscle-bound, so a lot of times the muscle-bound guys, they gas out quicker.
Right.
But I'm seeing some great output from Perez. He's got a shutout on my card. Bedoya, still game, still tough.
Let's take a listen here at the blue corner.
Breathe deep, ready? Breathe into your nose. Now 3 minutes.
Stop, bro. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Chop on the sides. Stay small. You understand? Forget the head hunting. Just all body. Yeah, and bring it back up at the end. 3 minutes.
Not ready to work. Take a step back, bro. Stop standing there getting fucking hit with shots.
3 minutes. All right?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last and final round.
You know, I like that advice that his corner gave him. Break him down to the body and come back up, but mainly to the body, to the body, to the body. You know, that was great advice for Perez's corner.
See if he follows that instruction here in this 6th round, as he does go right to the body.
Listen.
And tries to come upstairs with a left hook, and we're right back in that phone booth, just like we thought we'd find ourselves.
Isn't it nice when your fighter listens to you in the corner?
Oh, 100%.
You're a trainer as well.
100%. You know, it irks me sometimes when my fighters don't listen, because I know exactly what the heck I'm talking about, you know. But sometimes, you know, they feel uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, executing really hard.
And another right hand from Perez as he turns the corner. He looks to open up here.
Perez has just been non-stop on him all night.
Double, triple jab and a right hand to the body. Then he clubs down the lead hand and a right hand behind it.
You gotta love what he's doing right now and what he's showing. You know, just the jab in itself, the distance, but mainly the top and bottom, breaking the body, going to the head. You know, and he's taking some shots too from Bedoya.
There's a cheeky left hook there from Bedoya. You do have to be careful, as Dan, you pointed out. He's running away with this thing on the cards, but one mistake can end the fight. And there's another clubbing right hand. It backs off Bedoya. You're not only hearing the corner of Ariel Perez, you're hearing the crowd call out combinations to Ariel Perez. I heard 2-3-2 from the crowd there.
It's an educated crowd.
From the rafters.
They've grown as much as Ariel has grown in the last year. They've grown as fans, too.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, that first fight, they were ready to come in the ring.
They were
yelling out instructions.
They were going to show him. They were going to show him how to do it in the ring.
I was going to say this about Perez. He's 33 years old. He might never reach like the pinnacle of the sport, become a world champion, but he's improving, and he sells tickets, and he goes in there.
Oh,
pride.
2-1.
And we're seeing that tonight.
He finally found the button on Bedoya, and he backs him into the corner with a minute left.
He fights for pride. He fights for his friends and family, and that's respectable.
Big right hand again.
Overhand right.
Can he find a stoppage here in this 6th round? He's hit Bedoya with everything in the arsenal.
Bedoya
body shot again. Those body shots are paying off as he's landing bigger shots to the top.
I hate to see the beating that Bedoya has taken, man.
Too tough for his own good, maybe, Dan.
Oh, man.
Take a punishment this fight.
We really don't want to see those kind of shots getting, you know, but you gotta have the corner to kind of work that out, you know. But unfortunately, sometimes.
Well, he's fighting bad. It's the thing. Like, he's not. Like, these are dominating rounds, but it's not like.
Poor right hand as well there.
Punching back with there. He's very tough.
Last few seconds in this 6th round, you have to think Perez is going to step on the gas here to try to get a stoppage. There's another right hand.
No, Perez is definitely coming in there.
There it is. 6 rounds in the books, and it was non-stop action from Ariel Perez. And that's the main event of our preliminary card, folks. But still to come. Live on DAZN.com and on the DAZN app for free. No subscription required. It's Daniel Pero putting his undefeated record on the line versus Cesar Navarro. A heavyweight bout right here on DAZN. What a performance out of a guy that we've seen a couple of different times on prospects cards, even on a Jake Paul, Mike Perry card down in Tampa, Florida as well. Ariel Perez, when he shows up, he shows out, gentlemen.
Yeah, most impressive thing I've seen from him or saw from him tonight was the output. I was talking in round 1 and round 2, can he keep this pace up? And he did. And he showed off a lot of aspects of his game better defensively, and he was also really good with the combinations.
We talk about improvement. And every fighter that we see return here to Most Valuable Prospects, I think that was probably one of the best adjustments, improvement fights we've seen from someone here in this series.
Oh yeah, he's becoming more a complete fighter, you know, using the jabs, not just to throw his power shots, you know, or his stamina, but he's actually breaking the guy down. He's setting his punches up, he's throwing the jab, he's hitting the body, he's hitting to the head, he's mixing it all up.
And something else that, you know, Dan, you kind of alluded to it as well. Not every fighter is going to be a world champion. Not every fighter is going to reach the highest heights of boxing. But for a guy like Ariel Perez, whatever his highest height is, he has got a crowd behind him, and they will follow him until the ends of the earth. And for him, every time he steps in, probably feels like a world title fight because of that.
It's awesome. It's awesome to see every level of boxing. I enjoy championship level boxing. I enjoy prospects. I also enjoy guys like Ariel Perez, who's 33 years old, who probably got into this game late, who fights for a number of reasons other than, you know, for money and all that. So, yeah, I think there's room for that in boxing, and it's very admirable. And he should get his hand raised right here, and then you know he's going to party tonight in Orlando.
You already know that. Well, let's go ahead and make it official. Let's send it into the ring with Dasha Carez.
After 6 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. Judge Levin scores this bout 60-54. Judge Glover scores this bout 60-54. And Judge Aguilar scores this bout 60-54. Your winner by unanimous decision, Ariel, the Golden Hulk, Perez.
Your winner. And a unanimous decision victory. And he moves to 7-0. Showed a lot of improvements. Big-time stuff there for Ariel Perez, Nonito.
100%, man. Just the overall thing that he did, you know, the jab, the body, just the whole mixture, and just calming everything down sometimes when you need to. But, you know, Bedoya was one of those guys that just, you got to break him.
Couldn't quite get that stoppage, but my Lord, I mean, what else could he have done? I don't know if there wasn't a shot he threw, Dan.
He threw every punch in the book. He did a great job not smothering his work. He even, a few rounds, he shut off the jab, too. He shoe shined.
I mean, he's landing those big shots, man. They weren't light shots. They were big shots.
That's what I mean. Like, everything was thrown really hard, too.
Right.
It's like equivalent to, like, a Major League Baseball pitcher throwing everything 101.
Right.
And never mixing in a changeup.
The Randy Johnson special.
Yeah, like mixing a changeup every once in a while. No, 100-mile-an-hour smoke.
And those are very, very exhausting, man. As a power kind of guy, I love the power. And it tires the heck out of you, you know, especially when you're throwing power throughout the whole time.
It definitely does. One man that's tired, but he's the victor, is Ariel Perez. He's standing by with Sibley Scholes.
All right, we are here in the ring. You know, I had my white on thinking I wasn't going to get dirty or anything, but I have the whole sweat happening right near. You are, is that what they call you?
They call me the sprinkler, yeah.
This man is sweating like nobody's business, as you should. You handled business in this ring tonight. You're holding it down. Hulk Camp is in the building, Tampa Bay. We got the family here. Knowing the support that you had right behind you in this ring, you got the tat, you got the hat, and the corner. How was it for you to take this win?
Man, first of all, I want to thank Jesus Christ, because without him, man, none of this is possible. And I really want to thank MVP and Box Lab Promotions for putting me on this beautiful show. It was amazing. I had a great experience.
What was the camp like going into this for you? Did you have a short amount of time when you found out about this fight? What was it for you getting into this?
No, it was actually a really, really good camp. I got to give my hats off to my opponent. He was a warrior. The Mexicans, they normally come real tough, man. He did his job today. Got me through the 6 rounds. So, yeah, but we prepared really good for this camp.
That little kid in you, the fight that you have in your heart, and knowing again, like I said, you got a big camp behind you here. Holding it down. What does that mean? And we're here in Florida as well.
Oh, man, it's a blessing, bro. Like, they push me to work hard every single day. I got all the support. My family and friends, they come here every single time to show up. Time and time again, man. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to work as hard as I do now. For real.
Tell the fans the sprinkler's in the building.
What happened?
Tell the fans the sprinkler is in the building.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Sprinklers in the building, y'all.
Got the win tonight. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Make some noise, Orlando.
I'm confused. Where did the sprinkler come from? Is that the sweat?
I believe it's the sweat mixed with the offensive combinations.
Okay.
The Hulk and the sprinkler.
The sprinkler is about to hit me on the shoulder as he walks out there. There he is. Ariel the Golden Hulk Perez, but we still have a main card coming your way, folks, that is stacked. Gentlemen, let's go through it really quickly. Let's start with that first fight. We talked about it a couple of times here. Nat Dove taking on Nayeli Rodriguez in a 4-round, 3-minute per round fight. Dan, what do you think?
12 minutes of action. This will be their second time fighting. First time in the pros. Nat Dove won a split decision over Rodriguez in the amateur ranks. Nat Dove is a new signee of MVP. She's trying to get onto that big card on July 11th. That's Taylor Serrano. So a lot of extra motivation for Nat Dove. Rodriguez looking for the upset.
We want to see that. Then we'll move to an 8-round lightweight matchup between Kaipo Gallegos and Pedro Castaneda. And then our co-main event, Corey Marksman takes on Tayden Beltran in that heavyweight main event we all are waiting to see. Daniel the Fear Perro returns to MVP prospects to take on Cesar Navarro. A lot still to come, but before we get there, Sibley is standing by with a very special signee.
Oh, that's right. Orlando in the house and at home right now. I'm not going to do the introduction because you're here yourself. Let the people know who I'm talking to right now.
What's good, y'all? I'm Juana.
Wanna give them more than that, Wanna. They know who you are from the screen to the ring. Tell them who you are.
What y'all want me to give? I'm a professional boxer. I'm also an actor.
He's being very humble, folks. Orlando, make some noise. We got Juana Walton in the building. Listen, you already got it on here. No Love Nat Dove is going in that ring tonight. She has shown us, and she is a fan favorite. Not only will you be in her corner, but you've watched the excessive time that she's had to get to this moment in her life. What does it mean to you to be in her corner and to see what she's done? And how much have you given her as well as someone who's already been in that ring too?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it means everything. I'm blessed that she wants me in her corner tonight. She's a great fighter, and I mean, her improvement even in the past couple years, I've been able to watch her grow. I got to see her in the amateur game, and now we're in the pro game together, and it's really just a beautiful thing, and I can't wait to watch her really do her thing tonight.
Y'all got to go to their social media because they went and ate like snacks before the fight. And people think fighters can't have anything but water or nothing at all. How cool is it to have those moments? Because again, you know it, she knows it, but it's a fun time for you guys to get together. And again, check out their socials. How was that with her?
It was amazing. You know, like when you have moments like that, there's nothing really like it. It's super fun. And you know, after weigh-in, of course, you got to stack up on some snacks. You know, how can you not? Like, you gotta get the bulk going after weigh-in. But outside of the ring, me and her are super close, and you know, I love spending time with her. And yeah.
Lastly, really quick before we get back to the guys, there is a major fight going on, the Trilogy in MSG. It's a women's full-on card. We have got Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor doing their Trilogy. When you are in the ring tonight, in that corner for someone like No Love, Nat Dove, to just have that, you know, support, what does that mean to see those women on Most Valuable Promotions, everything that Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian is doing here?
I mean, it's really such a powerful thing. You know, the women's boxing space has grown so much. And the fact that Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano are fighting again, I'm so excited to see that. I'm going to be there in person, and I really can't wait for that night. And, I mean, just the impact that women have made on boxing so far has been phenomenal. It shows that they can hang with the men, and what they're doing is really just special.
Juana, tell them what we need to watch tonight.
What do we need to watch tonight? With Nat Dove, No Love Dove, and her opponent. I'm very excited about that. Y'all got to tune in for that one.
I keep putting him on the spot. People, stay tuned right here. We're on the zone. It's happening in Orlando, Florida. This is Prospects 12. We'll see you in a bit.
That fight is coming up as the first fight on our main card. And speaking of that main card, we have a stacked one, including our main event. It will be live and free on DAZN.com and the DAZN app, folks. Do not miss Daniel Perro, 10-0 with 8 knockouts, defending his Continental USA heavyweight title versus Cesar Navarro. That's live and free on DAZN.com and the DAZN app. Folks, we will be right back with that main card.